I am not teaching, I am publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning from a Life from the UK test part 536 while doing ground yoga. And if you participate in the ground yoga, meditate your own risk. We are repeating all the book. We did it already all in the previous 535 parts. And now we are always looking for a little section which you can record when so that we are saying down one little presentation what we all learned about one subject. The last thing we found was the music, and that seems to be good. We're going to list these 6-7 composers. We're going to say something to the prompts, to some music genres, to some stadiums, and maybe 1 or 2 different types of awards. But not now. We're going on the theater. And there are theaters in most towns and cities, so we're just repeating all, basically Canada, all that we're repeating it. There are theaters in most towns and cities. They are an important part of local communities. There is the London's West End, also known as Theatreland. London's West End, also known as Theatreland. I understand it. If the East End, that is an area in London. There are just people living. Now, the West End is just another part of London. And this part of London is called, this West End part is called also the Theatreland. London's West End, known as Theatreland, is particularly well known. The Mousetrap, a murder mystery played by Dame Agatha Christie, has been running in the West End since 1952 and has had the longest initial run of any show in history. We're going to do a video about that. We're just going to say if people are asking what show has the longest initial run in history, then you're going to say The Mousetrap since 1952, written by Dame Agatha Christie. We're just going to do one video dedicated to answering that one question. Okay, we go on. There's also a strong tradition of musical theatre in the UK. In the 19th century, Gilbert and Sullivan wrote comic operas of making fun of popular culture and politics. These operas include HMS Pinafore, The Pirates of Penzance, and The Mikado. Gilbert and Sullivan's work is still often staged by professional amateur groups. More recently, Andrew Lloyd Webber, or Baron Andrew Lloyd Webber, has written the music for shows which have been popular throughout the world, including in collaboration with Sir Tim Rice, Jesus Christ Superstar, Evita, Cats, and The Phantom of the Opera. Another British tradition is the pantomime, and many theatres produce a pantomime at Christmas time. They are based on fairy stories and are light-hearted plays with music and comedy, enjoyed hopefully by family and audiences. And sometimes there's a character which is a dame when played by men, and sometimes people are dressing up as horses or cows together. 2 people. Whereas the Edinburgh Festival takes place in Edinburgh, so there is the Eisteddfod Foot in Wales, the National Eisteddfod Foot, and the Edinburgh Festival in Edinburgh. This Edinburgh Festival is a series of different arts and cultural festivals, the biggest and most well known being an Edinburgh Festival. The Edinburgh Festival Fringe. The Fringe is a showcase of mainly theatre and comedy performances. There is the Lawrence Oliver Award. It takes place annually at different venues in London. There are a variety of categories, including Best Director, Best Actor, Actors. The awards are named after the British actor Sir Lawrence Oliver, who played Shakespeare, or wrote of Shakespeare. Nothing really to do there. We're gonna do the one with Dame Agatha Christie in a minute. Will we do one video and where we're explaining a bit about the theatres, or the theatre culture in the United Kingdom? We could say that in most towns there is one. The West End part of London is known as Theatreland. There's, for example, Mousetrap running by Dame Agatha Christie since 1952, belongs in the run. We were in the 19th centuries, also it has a backdating history. Gilbert and Sullivan writing HMS Pinafore, The Pirates of Penzance, Mikado making fun of popular culture and politics, or also Baron Andrew Lloyd Webber in collaboration with Tim Rice, Sir Tim Rice did Jesus Christ Superstar, Evita, Cats, and The Phantom of the Opera. Then there's oftentimes at Christmas done, or sometimes pantomime, and these are intended to be enjoyed by the whole family. And there's the Edinburgh Festival, and the biggest and most well-known being the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, the Fringe. The Fringe is a showcase of mainly theatre and comedy. What is the Fringe? It is a showcase of mainly theatre and comedy. Yeah, what is it now? That is what we do. It often shows experimental work. And there's the Lawrence Oliver. We're not going to name it. That doesn't fit into theatre culture. Yes, it does. including Best Director, that is for theatre, Best Director for theatre. We're not going to include it. We don't understand it. Maybe it doesn't fit to the target context. We're going to talk not even about the Edinburgh Festival. The Fringe is a showcase of mainly theatre and comedy. Okay, it has something to do with theatre. But we name at least the other things. Now, that we'll do in the next video, but that we will do after we have done our music video, because we want to do something about the music and want to tell you basically all the things we learned about music. Now we're going to do one little video. I have a second camera rolling, and on that I'm going to say now that the longest initial show which ran in history is The Mousetrap, murder mystery written by Dame Agatha Christie, 1952, running in the West End, known as Theatre Land of London. The longest initial run, do we use the same words or do we explain it in the way we understand them? The longest since its initial running show. The longest since its initial start. What is it? It is not rolling, it is showcased, it is running. The longest since its initial starting running show. Is it a show? No. What is it even? A play, a murder mystery play. The longest since its initial running show is The Mousetrap by Dame Agatha Christie, a murder mystery played in the Theatre Land in the West End of London since 1952. And that is according to the Life in UK Test Handbook, page 81. But then said it is running since 1952. Has been running in the West End since 1952. We said it, okay. I'm going to stop the second camera. And we're starting with ground yoga. If you're just here for our music video, and the video in which we personally explain all we learned here about music, when you can go directly to the next video. If not, you may participate in the ground yoga. If you do so, it is at your own risk. Sitting tall up, and we're breathing in, and we're leaning in front, and we're opening the chest. And breathe out, back into the middle, and breathe further out and come back. Breathe in into the middle, and out and come in front. Again, in into the middle, and out, make a round back and lean back. Again, in into the middle, and out in front and out the chest. Again, in into the middle. Now we're doing shorter circuits, not short circuits, complete circuits, whatever. We're on in front, we're opening the chest, and we're going back. Make a round back, now back, and in front, out the chest, and back. Breathe in when you come in front, and out when you go back. Last time, in, out, and now the other way around. Come in front, breathe in. Now we're going into tabletop. The hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hands. We're bringing one hand into the middle, and we're bringing one arm through. And we're lying down onto one shoulder, and lifting one arm up. Now breathe in, and out, bring the arm behind the back. Breathe again in, lift the arm up, and out, bring the arm in front. Breathe again in and lift the arm up, and out, bring the arm behind the back. Again in, the arm up, and out, the arm in front. and again up, and down, we're coming up again. Now same to the other side. One arm into the middle, the other one through and lie down onto the shoulder. And one arm up. Breathe in, and out, bring the arm behind the back. Again in and the arm up, and out the arm in front, in the arm up, and out the arm behind the back. In and the arm up, and out the arm behind the shoulder. In and the arm up, and down, and we're coming up again. Now to the downward facing dog. Both hands on the ground, and we come back. Try to make a straight back and a straight line from the hips over the back with the arms, and to bring the heels onto the floor. Now we alternate bending the legs. So bend just right one leg and then the other one. Now we're going to do the bob slide. So we're going into high plank, and we go breathing in and going back, and out in front, and again in and back, and out in front, again in and back, and out in front, and another time in, back, out in front, and back to the downward facing dog. And we're walking in. And now we're doing the marmot. Breathe in and bend the right leg. And breathe out and stretch only the left leg. Breathe again in and change. And out and stretch just the right leg. Again in and change. And out, bend the right leg. Again in and change, and breathe in, and out, both legs straight. Now we're doing the penguin. Breathe in and lift the right hand up to the sky, and breathe out, bend the left knee, look over the right shoulder to the right hand. Breathe again in, bring the arm again in, and out and down. Now breathe in and the left arm comes up to the sky. And breathe out, bend the right knee and look over the left shoulder to the right, to left hand. Breathe in, bring the arm again in. And out and down. We're doing the pelican. Make a hand with space between the toes. Shift the weight to the heels. And breathe in and come down. And out and again in and down, and out and up. Again in and down, and out and up. One last time, in and down, and out and up. And now we're doing the triple chase counterweight. Take hold on the elbows, and gently swing from side to side. Now the arms again down, close the feet, and we're walking in front back to the downward facing dog. Now we're doing the stretching dog. Just come up onto tiptoes. And the heels again down. We're coming with the knees down at the tabletop, and we're sitting back into child's pose. If you like, you could stay in child's pose a little bit longer. But this is the end. I thank you very much, and until the next time.